If you think about wrestling in the United States, your mind probably goes to the WWE, characters like The Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock. That's about as many characters from wrestling as I can mention off the top of my head. I just know nothing about wrestling. But in neighboring Mexico, a very distinct form of wrestling has carved its own identity in the world, and it began in the 1930s, and it's been termed lucha libre. What makes this type of wrestling very unique are the very bold and colorful masks that the wrestlers wear while competing, and the high-flying nature of the sport. It is so ingrained and important to the culture of Mexico that in 2018, the government of Mexico City declared that it is an intangible cultural heritage to the city. And around Mexican Independence Day on September 16th, even though Jordan Brand is not dropping the shoe on that day or before it, so people can get ready for it, but it's around that time, Jordan Brand is dropping a shoe that is paying tribute to Lucha Libre, Air Jordan 3 Al Vuelo. And the shoe is dropping on September 20th for $230. Honestly, just a ridiculous price. The prices for Jordans, I don't care if they're special collaborations and they're like a special release, $230 is, come on. Regardless, the shoe does pay tribute to Lucha Libre, Mexican wrestling, and Al Vuelo, that actually means the flight. So I believe that is meant to reference the kind of high aerial moves that Mexican wrestling is known for. Last year around this time for Mexican Independence Day, Jordan Brand did drop the Jordan 5 El Grito, and I really like that shoe. I thought it was special. I really like the materials that came with this shoe. And this year, they're following it up with a Jordan 3, and first impressions of this shoe. I always like special releases. I always love sneakers that have storytelling in it. And I always love sneakers that like make me research a specific culture or like hobby or anything that I'm not too familiar with, like Lucha Libre. In terms of just like the shoe in a vacuum, the Mexican colors I think work really well. They're quite versatile, quite wearable. Do I think it's like a legendary colorway? Probably not, but I do love the storytelling and the execution of the shoe. And the materials on the shoe, it is quite unique. So it is majority just leather. But this leather here, it is like textured. So it's got that kind of scratchy texture. See if I can make that sound very apparent so you can kind of visualize how it feels. So they did switch this up a little bit. I don't know if that's why they're trying to justify the $230 price range. And of course the colorway here, that is the colors of the Mexican flag. And of course the most distinct thing about this shoe, it is that overlay here that is inspired by the Lucha Libre masks that the wrestlers wear. And that has this kind of faux lizard alligator texture to it. And another place where they see that is on the mudguard area, as well as the heel of the shoe. Usually for a regular Jordan 3, that is of course elephant print. They have swapped it out into this kind of faux lizard skin material. So a lot of changes to the shoe, and they're moving up the tongue instead of just like leather on the tongue with the ventilation. This one goes for a satin tongue with a very bright and bold Jumpman that is like its own piece. And you also see the top 4 eyelets is gold as well as the bottom eyelets. And right behind the tongue, there is custom branding. And that phrase, I'm going to attempt to pronounce it. I don't know a lick of Spanish. I'm going to see how Google tells me to say it. Then I'm going to try and pronounce it. Más vale maña que fuerza. That's the best I can do. If you speak Spanish, please flame me in the comments below and destroy me, but I am trying my best. But that in English is meant to mean skill is worth more than strength. So I believe it's supposed to be a saying like, work smarter, not harder, use your brains over brawn. And the shoe does come with 2 extra set of laces. So out of the box, you get this rope-like thinner type of laces just in white. And the other color is this kind of burnt orange and green color. And out of the 3, I don't think I can pull off the other ones very effectively, so I'm gonna say for me, I'm going with the white laces out of the box, but I think the 2 other laces can look pretty good as well. Now moving on to the heel tab and booty of the shoe, you will see a gold Jumpman Air that is stitched, but this texture is not like a regular Jordan 3 where it's like that TPU kind of plastic material that's got some give to it. This one is like a leather piece, again, with this kind of scratchy type of texture to it. So they changed it up here too, and I thought maybe they would hide a little hidden message behind the tab of the shoe, like some Armand Manea Jordans, but nope, nothing there. And general rule of thumb, if it's not an OG colorway or a very special collaboration, you get a Jumpman here instead of Nike Air branding. So this one, They try to make it special, and it is a special shoe, but I guess not special enough for them to swap out the Jumpman for Nike Air. And in terms of the cushioning, the Jordan 3 does come with a polyurethane midsole with a Nike Air unit, a visible one, of course, on the heel, as well as one on the forefoot. The Jordan 3 was the first time Jordan Brand actually decided to expose the Nike Air, and the color of the midsole here, it is creamy, kind of, a little bit off-white. It is not exactly like yellow sail, where they went for a very aged look or anything, but it is not like pearly white. You can see the contrast between the materials on the upper and the midsole. And then on the outsole of the shoe, you get Jordan branding here, just like the booty. Non-OG colorways usually get Jordan. OG colorways gets Nike branding there. And you get the concentric circles up top. So one of the best outsoles ever. In terms of the insole, again, Mexican colors there with Jumpman branding on the bottom. It is, however, just a dream cell insole, which isn't like the worst Jordan Brand can give you. Trust me, they can do much worse, and they will, and they have. But for a Jordan 3 that is $230 for a special release, they didn't even have the decency to give us a polyurethane insole, and it's just quite upsetting. Perhaps the highlight of this shoe is the box. Look at this. This is designed to represent like the promotional posters for Lucha Libre. Very colorful, very bold. See in the middle right there, it says live on air. And then the same phrase, skill is worth more than strength. And inside, quite interestingly, even though they replaced the elephant print on the Jordan 3, they have elephant print paper. They could have given us some Lucha Libre specific paper in the box. And in terms of the sizing comfort for the Jordan 3s, usually I go true to size. I do have wide and flat feet, but for Jordan 3s, true to size works really well. No like pain in the arch area, no pain in the toe box. Sometimes certain Jordan 3s, the polyurethane midsole can come a little bit stiff out of the box, but once you wear it in, the responsiveness and cushioning kind of loosens up a little bit, and it feels pretty decent. It's a very old shoe though, so don't expect like the best type of technology on a shoe made in 1988. But generally, I do think if you are used to like Jordan retros or wearing older shoes, the Jordan 3s are pretty comfortable. And that brings the total sole score of the Jordan 3 Al Vuelo to 39 out of 50. Pretty good score compared to other special releases. And first, it is colorway. I think this is a very nice colorway. Is it like my absolute favorite? No, I think OGs will always have a special place, or like UNC related sneakers are my favorite, but I still think it's a very clean colorway, and it helps that the colors of the Mexican flag and for Mexico is like super wearable, nothing like too out there in your face. Do I love the gold bits on the tongue as well as the eyelets? I think it's not enough to make me hate it. I usually don't love too much gold on a sneaker, but in certain restricted amounts, I think it looks good. And in terms of the materials, honestly, not quite sure how to judge this. This is kind of like textured leather with a scratchy surface on it. Just feels kind of different, especially when you like press down. It looks different than how you would imagine just normal leather to look. And in terms of the comfort, Jordan 3s, I think from Jordan 1 to 14, probably top 3 most comfortable for my wide and flat feet. Jordan 5 the most comfortable. Jordan 13s probably, 14s as well. So Jordan 3s right after that, so maybe top 4. But it is a decently comfortable shoe, no pain in any part of my foot. Underfoot, the cushioning, it is ancient, it is old. But if you are used to any retro shoes of any brand, I think you're going to find this a decent wear. And in terms of versatility, the Jordan 3s, in terms of the silhouette, just one of the most wearable, mainstream, casual sneakers ever. I recently went on a business trip to San Francisco, took my Jordan 3 Reimagined. Just goes with everything. You just can wear it with any type of outfit, and it looks great. In terms of the wearability of the colorway, majority white Jordan 3, I think can't really go wrong with that. The green here might be a little bit bold for some people, and the gold as well, but it is like Mexican themed colorway, and it's not like fully green with hints of white. It is more white with hints of green and orange. So I think this is a very wearable Jordan 3 as well. I will say the extra overlay here, inspired by the masks, I think that might be just like in a vacuum on a shelf, disregarding the theme, execution, storytelling of the shoe. That might be a little bit much for some people, but I think it is in neutral enough colors that it might just kind of blend in very nicely as well. And in terms of the storytelling, I love it, especially the box, the special box that it comes with. Sometimes for these special releases, they come with like these bland as nonsense box, and I'm like, can you just spend like an extra $1 to create a special box? I'm glad they did this time, and I love it. Maybe like the laces, the lace tips, they could maybe inscribe some special message on it. Would also prefer if they gave us like an extra little booklet card or something to further describe Lucha Libre and how Jordan Brand specifically is trying to celebrate it, but can't ask for too much. I'm just a peasant giving them my money. Is this as good as last year's Jordan 5 El Grito? I am biased because I love Jordan 5s. I think in a vacuum, like on a shelf, I would probably pick that shoe over it. But yeah, like I said, I love when sneakers forces me to learn about something new. In this case, I learned a little bit about the history of Lucha Libre. So really appreciate when Jordan Brand comes out with these special releases. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 3 Al Vuelo. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.